Let's have a little look at the DAX, shall we?
Wait. Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. And if this is your first time here, I'm the big fella that is the Scruffy trader. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do smash that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps. And if you like the content, crack the like, helps the YouTube. And if you want to see further updates, drop down in the description and you'll find all of my Twitter and social media feeds. And while you're on, just click the little bell icon and you'll get notified for each new video. Post them nearly every day. And I like to think I give a little bit of value in each one. A lot of them are just me trading and showing you how and kind of why I trade to a degree. If you want to do a deep dive, you come into the Scruffy squad and you'll see exactly how I trade. A little bit like what I'm about to show you now. I'm looking at the DAX. I've already spoken with the guys this morning. Every morning, there you go. It's coming up 9 o'clock. This was done about 8. I put in what it is I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for buys and I'm looking on the DAX. I wasn't ready at that point. So reassess it and go through. But they know exactly what it is I'm looking for. Likewise here. They're asking a little bit of my point of view and one thing and another. And they do talk amongst themselves. So I always do them a video of the how and the why before I trade. Now that's the trick. You know, it's very easy to sort of say, well, I did this and I did that after the event. I tell these lot before I do it. So they know exactly what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to achieve, and the how and the why. And that's kind of the difference between somebody who does this for a living and somebody who thinks, just take a punt. You know, I've seen it on a YouTube video, so I'm going to make a YouTube video and I'm going to roll back trading view. All right. I'll say it beforehand first, and then I'll have a bit of respect for you. But other than that, I've got no respect for you. As you notice, if you go through this channel, I have got little time for the Lambo boys, none whatsoever. And if you go through some of the Facebook groups, I've got little time for people who live in La La Land as well. You'll always have the moron who's going to 10x his account because he's got an amazing system. Doesn't make any money, but he'll over opinionate against yourself. And people like that are just assholes, and basically just push them to one side because they're not worth a light. And secondly, you'll lose money listening to them. The best person to listen to is you, yourself. Look in the mirror. That's the best person to listen to and your best teacher. Why? Because you're the only one who knows the emotional value of what your sort of personality is. Nobody else does. Technicals is easy. You know, genuinely is. And we go through it with these guys. And it doesn't matter what they're trading, whether it's Forex, etc. We all looking at roughly the same thing to a degree. I mean, we all have our different styles, but the framework is there. But we all have different personalities, and that's why I like the chat and music, where we do greet each other and talk and laugh and joke, and we put human faces to each other in our travels. Why? Because it's a community. I don't like sort of Facebook groups, etc. that it's just, well, guys, you're going to have to get in at this point, and you're going to have to put your stop here, and you're going to have to put your target here. Teaches you nothing. It's just almost bragging rights of, oh, I'm better than you. No, not really, because it's normally by somebody who hasn't got a clue what they're doing, and they're just over opinionated. you're very rarely, well, in fact, you are never criticized by somebody who's better than you. Somebody who's better than you will try and lift you up. Somebody who's worse than you will try and tear you down. And the Scruffy squad is all about lifting up and sticking in together. So, hope that makes sense. Anyway, let us jump back to the chart now. I've had a bit of a grumble, bit of a Scruffy rant. That's not a Scruffy rant. If you go through the channels, you'll find some Scruff. See, I'm old, and you're allowed to rant when you're old, definitely. And I haven't had enough coffee this morning, so obviously I'm getting ready for a rant. I'll do that on another video. We all know Scruffy likes a coffee. Bugger me, he does. Right, trade. What we looking at? Well, as I said, I'm looking to go up. This has had a thumper of a drop for an hour. Got a tail coming in. I identified this level in that video. And I said, this is the area that I'm going to look to buy. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start staging orders into this for it to go up. Now, I don't need to do a lot today because I had a bad day 2 days ago, but I made up for it yesterday. That is, well, let's just say I don't need to do a great deal today. I don't need to do anything for the week. What I'm doing today is I'm just backing up what I told the guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a quick trade in. If I can get 100 quid out of it, fantastic. Now, I was pulled about sort of, well, you say you're going to do 50 quid and you do 500. And, well, the way I work is very simple. I work to benchmarks and little plateaus. My daily plateau or my daily benchmark is 200 quid. All right. Anything I do over that is fantastic, but it's based on 200. Why 200? Well, I try to work 3 days a week, so that's 600 a week. 600 a week across 48 years is a shade over 30 grand. 30 grand pays all of my bills, right? So I can eat well, go to the pub when I want, put clothes on my back. Not that I'm a style icon, because I really don't give a monkey's about clothes, but Joanne spends a lot on it. And it's about 30 grand a year. Anything over that buys me my luxuries. So, bought my Range Rover, I go on holiday, I do this, I do that. But my first priority is pay the bills. And that's the way I think. All right. So if I'm looking for a 50 quid and I get 100, my benchmark is 50 because I know it's realistic and it has a purpose for what I want. I hope that kind of makes sense. I kind of have an old school way of looking at money. I don't get anything unless I can pay for it outright, because I have no debt, no mortgage, nothing. Everything that we've got, we own. And it's done that way. Pay your bills first. Whatever's set left, then is your luxuries. Hence why I'm going away on holiday again this month. So that'll be the second one in 6 weeks. Why? Why not? Why can't I enjoy my life? So that's where we're up to. So this has dropped back into where we want it to be. What is the purpose of this? Well, I'll just quickly show you before I diddle off. There is a solid up move. It is trying to push up. There's the relief. And then it's looking for the next move upwards. Why? Because there's been no signs of this trying to push down. But you have your reliefs, which is just coming in. So I'll sit and wait here, down to here. Quite happy to start looking to move in and then just grab some money on the way up. And as soon as you're paid, quit for the day, job's done. So let me do my trade. Just move this back down to here. And I'll talk to you at the end. Okay guys, stopped out. Now, been working the range where it's kind of staying at this moment in time. Let's pull this out. There we go. From 8 o'clock this morning, wanted 50 quid. I think I've done a little bit better than that. So I'm quite happy. Now I could go back to market quite easily because the signs are still there. Enter around this point to push back up, because that's what markets do. Look, they chop, then they move. They chop, then they move. Now, question is, do I need to? And the answer is very simple. No, I don't. Less is more. If I now go into market, I'm tempting fate. Why? Because I've already done the trade that I wanted. And the longer I'm in the market, the more at risk I am. And it's something I try and get across all the time. If you're constantly chasing at the market, thinking, it's going to give me more, it's going to give me more, it's going to give me more, what you're falling into is greed. Greed is the worst nightmare for a trader, because you start putting your position sizes on too big. You'll start swinging for the fences too much, and then you get cocky, especially if you're on a winning streak, because you'll start lifting these up even further. And then when the day comes, or the trade comes, if you're doing it on a daily basis, that comes to smack you in the teeth, it'll wipe you out. And how do I know this? I've done it. You know, one of my worst losses was because of that. I was arrogant, believed I knew everything. I was quite new to the game. Oh, fantastic. And I paid daily for it. But on the other side of the coin, what I paid for was a very valuable lesson. And that lesson was, I can never outdo the market. You know, get in, get out, get paid. And ever since I've done that, I take a sniper approach and I try and stay under the radar, I've been fine. You know, you've all seen my stats. I haven't had a losing year in 7 years, and I haven't had a losing month in 3. So there we go, and that's well documented. So happy days. So if I was going to leave you with any advice today, it is less is more. You know, process over money every time. So find your process, stick with it, and just follow that, and then have a little bit of common sense to your position sizes. Because I see that all the time. How big should I have my position size for the size of my account? Which is common sense. You know, I don't work out percentages of, I know roughly what my exposure is. You know, if I go 2 or 3 grand offside, it's not the end of the world for me. You know, it really isn't. Not in the grand scheme of things. But that's is the extreme of where I want to be. I just look at it from, well, I need 200 quid. What's an average move? Well, it's 10 to 20 pips, which is reasonable. Well, if I trade up 10 to 20 quid a point, it doesn't take me long to get my 200 quid. And once I've got it, I stop. It's that simple. You know, my account can absorb the position size easily. If I get it wrong and I've got to dig out of a hole over a number of days or whatever, because as I say, I might be 2 grand offside or whatever, I've had a common sense approach to it. I don't overstretch the account to the point it destroys it. I hope this makes sense in a strange way, because when you see you try to force you want a 4 trade or you want a 3 trade, that's exactly what you're doing. You're forcing it. All right, you're not playing within the realms of possibility. When you're putting on a £10 position, but you've only got a £2,000 account, you are pushing the limits so far out, it can't end well. If you've got a 50 grand account or 70,000, whatever it happens to be, and you put 10 quid a point on, it's a not end of the world stuff, you know, because you can let it run 700 quid and it's not really denting the account that much. There's a difference, and the difference is common sense. So I'll let you crack on. Do drop in the comments below. I answer every single one of them, and if you're in the description, you'll see my contact details, and I do answer everybody that contacts me. And while you're there, you'll find preferred broker. I do like Black Bull. It's very low buy-ins, and the spreads are excellent. The cost of business is really good. And if you're using the MT5 platform, it's got all the bells and whistles. And if you like prop firms, the 5%ers is there, and you get a 5% discount off their entry points. So as always, guys, trade well, keep it risk managed, and above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. Or in the case of sitting next to me, if I do what I love there, my money empties out my wallet on a very quickly pace.
Well, that's what you heard it for, isn't it? So I can stand it.
You got that one right. See you on the next one, guys.